Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Saturday, the 7th of December 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second or more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin right. Let's see what we got today. Check this out. So Odeska has said, lo and behold, Craig's ChatGTP AI hallucinations that made headline news is back up after it's mysteriously stopped working when I found it. After contacting the Supreme Court, they put it back up again, still waiting for answers on how it got deleted. Oof. And then we just got more details of that case and the judgment. And then an article here saying, look at this. The alleged hallucinations include references to cases called Anderson versus the Queen, which doesn't exist. This was an article about it. Look at that. Craig Wright's bid to reverse ruling, he is not Satoshi Nakamoto, undone by AI generated hallucinations. Well, we've just proved that they're not hallucinations. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And they got another one here from Truth Machine saying that Judge Mellor said that he was doing things on Friday the 24th of February when that date doesn't exist. Dear oh dear, I mean the plot thickens. A little bit of Bitcoin history today. We've got actually the 7th was the day that, or 7th of December was the day that news broke on social media that Dr. Craig Wright had won the Ira Kleiman versus Wright court case, where a Florida jury found him to be the sole and rightful owner of 1.1 million Bitcoins, which are known as the Satoshi coins. So quite looking forward to that. Some other little bits, some really funny gags that I missed out on 365 days of Bitcoin history. Cointelegraph saying how to day trade an AI bot, or how to train an AI bot to day trade crypto. Like, honestly, it's all trading, pickpocketing, adding no value to the networks whatsoever. Crypto Potato reports here saying Financial Times apologises to Greg Coin supporters after years of criticism. Oh dear, honestly, they're pulling out the big guns here, aren't they? And then we'll just go through the figures as usual, because look at that, 57 million transactions. The figures are looking great. So we'll go through those as usual, and that will be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the terror node, you'll surely see.
Here we go. Right, so just checking this one out. Odekas has said, lo and behold, Craig's Wright ChatGTP AI hallucination that made headline news is back up after it mysteriously stopped working when I found it. After contacting the Supreme Court, they put it back up again, still waiting for answers on how it got deleted. And then if you click that link there, takes you through to this one. Anderson appellant versus Her Majesty Attorney General, respondent Isle of Man. Case summary, case ID, jurisdiction Isle of Man, the parties. Appellants were Ian Anthony Anderson, respondents Her Majesty's Attorney General. Issue whether the appellant was inadequately represented by the defence trial advocate in relation to diminished responsibility. Whether there was inequality of arms between the appellant and the prosecution as a result of refusal of a licence for leading defence counsel. Whether the Deemster failed properly to direct the jury in relation to diminished responsibility. And 4, whether taken together, issue 1 to 3 deprive the appellant of proving that his responsibility was diminished such that a conviction for manslaughter should be substituted. All right. I mean, yeah, this is all about, should they taken into account diminished responsibility? Yeah. Facts. The appellant was convicted on the 17th of April 2015 of the murder of Neil Edward Roberts, the deceased, on the 30th of November 2013. Both were drinking and later met at the appellant's home. The precise events that followed are unclear. Nonetheless, at 1:04 a.m, the police were called and, on arrival, found the deceased already lifeless. The appellant maintained that he had acted in self-defence. Provocation and diminished responsibility were also raised at trial. During his trial, the appellant was represented by local Manx advocates. The defence obtained evidence from the psychiatrist and psychologist. both of whom provided foundations for a finding of diminished responsibility. The prosecution also obtained a report from an expert. She originally disagreed as to the possibility of diminished responsibility, but then changed her mind in 2 subsequent reports. On the defence application, her evidence was excluded entirely, and no evidence as to the substantial impairment was adduced at trial, despite its mention on the evidence of the psychiatrist instructed by the defence. The judge referred to this in summing up, and the appellant was subsequently convicted of murder. So didn't take it into account. All right. So we'll just have the conclusion here. Have a look at this conclusion. For the reasons set out above, the board concludes that the errors in the case on the part of the defence counsel, when viewed alongside the contents of Mrs. Watt's closing speech for the prosecution and the relevant part of the Deemster's summing up, in which the errors were left uncorrected, render the verdict unsafe and unsatisfactory. There is no basis to conclude the jury would necessarily have reached the same conclusion on the charge of murder in the absence of these errors. Instead, if Dr. Puri and Dr. Bradley had testified on the issue of substantial impairment, there is a clear possibility that the appellant would have been acquitted of murder and convicted instead of manslaughter. The expert evidence of Dr. Puri and Dr. Bradley would have been uncontradicted, given the Deemster had excluded the testimony of Professor Shaw. The board considers the appellant should be retired, as it is uncertain whether a jury would determine this was a case of diminished responsibility, resulting in a verdict of manslaughter, or instead a situation in which, for instance, a jealous man has simply decided to end what had become an unacceptable situation, resulting in a verdict of murder. The board will accordingly humbly advise Her Majesty, first, that the appeal ought to be allowed and that the conviction of murder quashed, and second, that the appellant ought to be retried. Not retired. All right. And so this is... Let's read this article here from a Deal News saying Craig Wright's bid to reverse ruling he's not Satoshi undone by AI-generated hallucinations. And that's in brackets. Too long didn't read here. A judge denied Craig Wright's permission to appeal Satoshi Nakamoto ruling. Wright's petition contained multiple falsehoods and AI-generated hallucinations. Did Wright use AI app to write his legal filings? A UK judge has denied Australian computer scientist Craig Wright's permission to appeal a ruling that found he was not Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin. The order, signed Thursday by Lord Justice Arnold, rejected Wright's request to appeal 2 cases he brought against the Crypto Open Patent Alliance as being totally without merit. The 3-page opinion cites several reasons why Wright's appeal was denied, including multiple falsehoods and, quote it, AI-generated hallucinations. The alleged hallucinations include references to cases called Anderson versus the Queen 2013, which don't exist. End of the line? I mean, this is outrageous. So they're literally hiding evidence from the court. They're unbelievable. The artificial intelligence hallucinations occurred when the large language models that power AI chatbots create false information. The implication is that Wright used AI apps such as ChatGTP to draft his appeal without checking its accuracy. Wright has claimed that he is the true inventor of Bitcoin since 2016. Well, actually, no, it was Gizmodo and Wired magazine that pointed that out in 2015. But in March, a London High Court ruled Wright wasn't Satoshi Nakamoto. Following the ruling, a UK judge froze $7.6 million of assets belonging to Wright to prevent him from evading court costs accrued in his case against Copa. In Britain, it is a common practice for plaintiffs to pay the legal costs of defendants if they lose their case. The denial of Wright's appeal is really the end of the line, David Pearce, a UK and European patent attorney who closely followed the case, told DL News. So he's doing the rounds again. More emphatic, in the appeal, Wright argued that the judge who ruled he was not Nakamoto, Justice Mellor, was biased by a meeting with Pearce. Justice Arnold dismissed the argument. He said because Mellor had already announced his decision on the case almost 2 months prior to the meeting. But again, Judge Arnold was also implicated in this as well. They're all in on it. It was always expected that any appeal would be refused. Really? but that's a human right. But the decision refusing his permission to appeal is more emphatic than I ever expected, Pierce said. Well, I think he's gloating there. While the decision is likely the end of Wright's campaign to convince authorities he's Nakamoto, it's not the end of his legal battle. A hearing scheduled for next month in London will decide if Wright is in contempt of court for continuing to issue proceedings relating to Bitcoin. According to Pierce, Wright could face jail time if he is found in contempt of court, or if he is found guilty on charges relating to perjury for his use of forgeries in the Copa case. The year of Satoshi. This year, the quest to unveil the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto took several unexpected turns. In October, a HBO documentary claiming 39-year-old Canadian dev Peter Todd was Nakamoto reignited intrigue into the identity of Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator. Todd denied he was Nakamoto and warned against efforts to uncover the Bitcoin creator. Later that month, a 58-year-old Briton named Stefan Moller also claimed to be Nakamoto. What a joke that was. Like Wright, Moller was unable to provide definitive proof, such as sending a transaction from one of the wallets connected to Nakamoto. That doesn't prove identity. Possession is not identity, although it's like, 9/10. Possession is 9/10. Maybe of truth, maybe. Should Nakamoto's identity be confirmed, it will almost certainly rock the crypto market. Wallets tied to the Bitcoin creator contain around 1.1 million Bitcoin with a market value of around $180 billion. Right. I mean, the skullduggery going on is just unbelievable. And we've got another one here. Truth Machine said, it appears that Judge James Miller has some AI hallucinations in his written judgment after the most recent Copa versus Wright hearing. Miller claims to have spoken at an event on Friday, February 24th, 2024. The only problem is that Friday, February 24th, 2024 does not exist. Look at this. That's hilarious. I'm just going to check this myself on my calendar. Here we go. Yeah, it's Friday 23rd. 2024. So it's, Saturday was the 24th, not the Friday. He's getting his, Mellor's getting his dates mixed up. So what's he put then? Friday 24th of February. Yeah, it was Friday 23rd of February. Or it was Saturday the 24th. Either way, he's wrong. Dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. And what else has he got wrong? Apart from the other judgment as well, where three appeal court judges ruled that he was wrong. And this was literally 3-0. They ruled that he was wrong. And now he's wrong here as well. Good grief. So on this day, 3 years ago, 7th of December 2021, news broke on social media that Dr. Craig Wright had won the Kleiman versus Wright court case, where a Florida jury found him to be the sole and rightful owner of 1.1 million Bitcoin, which are known as the Satoshi coins. We've got absolutely hilarious video here. This is brilliant.
It's not breaking news, I don't think. That's not. There's no way that's true.
Please, no!
Jeez. Do you read this? No! This has got to be a meme, right?
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. So we've get into a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history. On the 5th of December, Samson Mao, again, I went absolutely bonkers over this one. He said, you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about meme. This one caused such a hubbub. It was hilarious. Because obviously we've got him being an absolute geek, hugging his toy there, whatever, and then his girlfriend's down at the gym with this muscle guy. Which one do you think is more masculine? On the 5th of December, yeah, we've already did that one. And this was Craig on the 6th of December, being declared. So even though they said that he doesn't owe half of 1.1 million Bitcoins, it's because nobody else has got a claim on it, and therefore it's okay for the Times reporting that he is the founder. Bitcoin founder Craig Wright wins battle to keep his crypto billions. Bitcoin founder. It's all there. The 7th of December 1941 was the attack on Pearl Harbor, orchestrated by US corporate interests with the intention to bring the US into World War II. This required the help of the Japanese powerful interests who betrayed their own people and country. And again, we all know this is all about bringing about the totalitarian one world government, which Bitcoin, which they are orchestrating through the central banking system, which Bitcoin goes against that. That's why this is interesting. The 7th of December 2017, there was an article here by BBC saying Bitcoin breaks through the $16,000 mark. I mean, this was after the forks and all that. So the BBC, the broadcasters for the cabal got involved and they started reporting on Bitcoin. Then 7th of December 2021, that moment in Bitcoin history when news broke that Craig Wright won the Ira Kleiman case along with its sole custody of the Satoshi coins. Brilliant. And then check this out. So tomorrow, 8th of December 2015 was when Wired magazine published an article titled "Is Bitcoin Creator This Unknown Australian Genius?" Then the following day, on the 9th of December 2015, Gizmodo publishes an article that evidences Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin, titled "Here's all the evidence that Craig Wright invented Bitcoin." So it wasn't until 2016 that Craig was finally just like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of evidence that you've dug up here. You're right. And then it was just like, oh, well, now you're a liar and a fraud. Well, no, these two magazines pointed the finger at him because it was Ira Kleiman that was feeding them all the evidence, because it was David Kleiman, his brother, that created the Tulip Trust for the benefit of Craig. Unbelievable what's going on. Unbelievable. Right, let's go on with this Cointelegraph article saying how to train an AI bot to day trade. Honestly, it's such a load of crap anyway. Oh, I mean, what are you going to do? Get all the bots trading against one another? They can't all be right. For every winner, there has to be a loser. They can't not be. Training an AI bot for crypto trading opens up 24/7 market access and speed. Learn how to build or deploy bots, the risks involved, and how they can fit into your strategy. What a load of crap. Key takeaways: you can train AI bots to analyze and replicate human trading behavior. Just gambling, pure gambling. Crypto trading bots are on 24/7, a key advantage over human traders. You can build your own bot from scratch or purchase one through a service. While a great tool, AI bots aren't perfect and can present significant trading risks. Imagine having a tireless assistant that trades cryptocurrency for you. Yeah, and you wake up and all your funds have been lost by a robot. Honestly, the number of traders I know that have got absolutely wrecked, and I mean literally absolutely wrecked. And then let's say the market does go in one direction, and all the traders are correct. Well, we've seen exchanges like BitMEX and Binance shut down because they're the exchanges who trade against their own customers, and then the customers can't even trade because the exchange is shut down. It is rigged, absolutely rigged. And check this out. Crypto Potato says Financial Times apologizes to Bitcoin supporters after years of criticism. Well, they might eat their words on this one. The Financial Times has been skeptical of Bitcoin since its first coverage in 2011, when the cryptocurrency was valued at $15.90. Alright, so now they're not skeptical. When it's gone over 100,000, that's the time to be absolutely in fear. But again, just goes to show you they have no idea what's going on. The Financial Times has issued a controversial apology after Bitcoin, that's Grapecoin, breached the $100,000 mark on December the 5th. Again, this lot will all be, siding with the cabal. Oh yeah, we're sorry, you were right, we were wrong, and then, they're gonna make it look like they're on side. Oh yeah, we were wrong as well when the market collapsed and everybody lost the shirts off their back. Yeah, so they're basically trying to get everybody involved in this now because they know that the time is nigh, The apology, published on FT Alphaville, the publication's daily news commentary service, was perceived by many as a backhand admission of its failure to foresee Bitcoin's rise, and now they're failing to foresee Bitcoin's demise. FT's apology, the article written by Bryce Elder, city editor at FT Alphaville, was framed as an apology to those who had for over a decade taken the publication's critical stance on Grapecoin at face value and refrained from investing in the asset. Oh, so it quotes here, we're sorry if at any moment in the past 14 years you chose, based on our coverage, not to buy a thing whose number has gone up. It's all about, look, it's all about number go up. That's all it is. It's nice when your number goes up, Elder wrote, while adding a jab at traditional finance. So look, they're getting on board with this bullshit now. We're sorry if you misunderstood our crypto criticism to be a declaration of support or TradFi, because we hate that too. I mean, again, so now they're getting on board when literally it's about to crash. You know, so they're trying to make it too big to fail, and then when it does fail, everybody's going to say, yeah, but we were all wrong. You know, how could anybody have predicted this? Hello, you know, you can predict it by looking at the figures, which is what we'll have a quick look at now. Look at this. $79. Look at this. So we've got hash rate, network nodes, transactions, and block size. Block size is the amount of data that is being uploaded onto the network. The data is uploaded via the number of transactions. The transactions are processed by the nodes that create blocks and supply hash rate, and the hash rate is meant to be attracted to the price that's meant to be representative of the value, but the price is just simply pumped by Tether. That's literally all it is, because there are literally, 1.25 transactions, or 1.25% of the block size on BTC, and 0.97% of the transactions. There is no one using this piece of shit because they have co-opted it. This is an alternative protocol that has stolen the name BTC, and this alternative protocol was created on the 1st of August 2017, and they know it. So block size and transactions are vanity, network nodes and hash rate are block size and transactions are sanity, network nodes and hash rate are vanity. That's all it is. They mean nothing without block size and transactions. It's here in front of your face. Whoa, look at these blocks coming through. Look at this, is huge. 273, 274, 326, 564. That's half a gigabyte. Come on, 330, 302. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely phenomenal. Compared to Gregcoin, this is like 1 megabyte. Bcrash, haven't even got any blocks over a megabyte. And Fisher Price Cash, struggling to get all the blocks over a kilobyte, let alone anywhere near a megabyte. Oh my goodness me. So look, all that proof of work should be on BSV, because that's the only protocol that goes right back to the Genesis block. All these are altcoins. And it's 224,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gregcoin. And you're mining Gregcoin at an 8.5% comparable loss, shows you the demand for it. And if you want to know what's going to happen in the future, I mean, look at all these charts. Look at this. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network. Block size absolutely smashing it. Transactions by network. Transactions per block by network. Absolutely massive. Look, fees USD, so that's the usability of the network. You literally use it for sub-cent fees. And look at these fees Satoshis right down there. It's almost free. Literally, it's so cheap to use. You're not even going to notice it. It's like dust. You're paying dust transactions to use the network. It's amazing. Daily Bitcoin fee to block reward ratio. Look at that. Look at that. It is still going up. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Look at that. Fee to block reward ratio. Come on. Come on. I'm telling you, when that starts getting close to Gregcoin, well, I think the smartest people in the room will move first. Daily accumulated Bitcoin blockchain growth by network, as Satoshi Nakamoto said, it is strictly necessary that the longest chain is always considered the valid one. And look at that. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours, Gregcoin hash rate, not even too bothered about. Bcrush hash rate, Fisher Price hash rate, and we've got Bitcoin. So we'll just have a look at the mining here. Let's have a look at this. We've got Kuva 36.8, Tau 26.9, QD Link 22, Mining Dutch 6.5, Gorilla Pool being squeezed down to 3.9, and then others we've got 3.29 there. But 6 miners on the network at the moment. I think probably actually more than that. Somebody else sent me one of these statistical things to have a look at. But let's have a look at this. Look at that. We've got 57 million transactions over the last 24 hours on genuine Bitcoin. Good grief. We're representing now 95% of the entire network. So between them, the biggest market cap coins on the market have only got 5% of the transaction volume between them. And that's Gregcoin with almost a $2 trillion market cap. And Ethereum only what 2.1%. You got XRP on there as well, being pumped the shit out of. Look at it. I can hardly even put the cursor on it because it's so small. Dogecoin 0.4, honestly. But the disparity between these figures is the biggest I've ever seen in financial statistics. It is just staggering. Staggering. And so we wonder where the shitcoin market is getting their value from, because it doesn't do anything. Look at this, would you believe it? So we got 136.8 billion gone up to 130. That is another $1 billion gone in. Another billion just today. Just today. So in the week it's gone from 134 to basically like 138. So 4 billion in a week. 4 billion in a week. And whereas this is 121.4 to 137. Oh my goodness me, what's that? $16 billion in a month. Good grief. Good grief. I mean, you're wondering where the value is coming from. It's literally just tether printing. So if you want to know how the cabal control the rest of the financial market, that's how they do it. The only difference is now we can actually see it. We can actually see where it's coming from. Literally the printing of tether, just like the Federal Reserve, but nobody knows how much, coinage or dollar the Federal Reserve has ever actually made or where it's going. It's nuts. It's the largest criminal enterprise the world has ever known. Ever. Let's have a look at this. So this is a trading view. Let's have a look at, see on the super chart, see what it looks like. Oh, there we go. Looking all right there. So that's from November 28th to where we are now. 7th of December. Let's compare that to Gregcoin, shall we? So if we take it from 27th of October, it's outperformed Gregcoin. Whoa. Fantastic. Let's have a look at that USD. Certainly starting to pick up all right. Orange Gateway, Gregcoin versus Bitcoin. Yeah, like we just looked at, confirming that. Against USD. Yes, it's doing all right. It's doing all right, but nothing compares to this figure here. The volume of transactions is absolutely crazy. The overall, oh my god, look at this, pumping another billion into the market. The market cap is now 3.7 trillion. 3.7 trillion. I mean, literally, it's moving up by almost like 100 billion every few days. Every few days. Whoa. And that might be close to like $4 trillion by the end of the year. Jeepers. I mean, they're getting desperate. They're getting desperate. So Gregcoin's still basically a $2 trillion market cap there. Trade volume's only 3.1%, 24-hour trade volume. Oh, grief, there's literally nothing there. And let's have a look at all this. So Ethereum $4,000, XRP now third in the charts. So $2.50. Look, it's just being pumped by Tether. That's it. I mean, literally none of these coins do anything. It's literally one of the biggest deceptions ever. But it's the battle for the global financial system that's at stake here, and those who control it will stop at nothing. Literally stop at nothing. They will even create an almost $4 trillion fraud. $4 trillion. This is what they're willing to go to. When really the only protocol that threatens their economic power and dominance is the one that they've buried right down here at 84, at just $79. Good grief. Good grief. Right, and so we've got tickets here for the London Blockchain Conference coming up. This is 22nd, 23rd of October, 2025. Looks like we've got a networking pass for just $49. And if you want to go in and see some of the speakers, you've got a 2-day ticket here. Super early bird pricing at $199, so it's like 200 quid. That was I thoroughly enjoyed meeting everybody there last year. I paid that just to go and meet people, really. I wasn't even bothered about actually listening to many of the speakers. Just wanted to go and enjoy myself and meet everybody. A little shindig once a year. Great stuff. Especially when you consider that, you know, the people in BSV are likely going to be the wealthiest group of people in the world, the new global elite. Well worth going, if you ask me, in my opinion. Yeah. So I think there was something else I wanted to report on, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was this. This is absolutely fantastic. Everybody has got to hear this. This is literally one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Here we go. Let's play this video. This definitely deserves a play on my show. Here we go. This was by What Bitcoin Did. Here we go.
The expensive fee digital pet rock BTC cracked $100,000. A middle-aged leprechaun had a massive meltdown in this Fox's first Bitcoin debate. Hawk Tua girl committed fraud and will need to talk to a lawyer. There was a catfight on change.org. And Craig Wright is still the creator of Bitcoin.
Not going to go to 100,000.
Today's date is December 5th, 2024. And this is the Cope Report. Currently, the largest Ponzi in financial history hit over $2 trillion today. The price of one shitcoin known as BTC hit $100,000, and still no one can tell me what it does without saying fiat is also a Ponzi. But riddle me this. What is backed by men with guns that will take you to jail if you don't pay your taxes? But don't tell me. Better yet, tell this scumbag. Satoshi, the defender of Bitcoin, defeated his first Bitcoin debate opponent, Patrick, a middle-aged man, cosplaying as a leprechaun wearing leggings online. The unlucky leprechaun had many tech issues, but fortunately the optics of this were outweighed by his lack of any argument and eventually asking for tech support about Bitcoin.
Transactions that did exist a year ago that don't exist now. I go and look at them on chain, they've been clipped.
But they're still on chain, even though they've been clipped.
The hash of the transaction is there, but the data in it is not.
The data will be stored somewhere. It has to be. Can't not be.
Okay, well maybe you can help me with that later. Okay, yeah. I have another.
Satoshi opened a can of articulate points on how data can only be commoditized one way on his giant green candy ass, which led to Patrick Rage quitting like a beta BTCer.
Reason, because I am that guy, and you just have to chuck in the low blows because you're a loser and you lost. Okay, bye.
See you later, mate. Have a good one.
Total BSV victory. In other news, possible CIA plant Haley Welch, aka Hawk Tua, created an absolute banger of a shitcoin called some stupid fucking name, stole a majority of the coins. Community Notes slapped her with, Haley is lying and will likely have to talk to a judge about this. But this is Clown World, so she might get a job at the SEC, while Craig Wright will probably go to jail. Judge is gonna judge, but when judges meet with the other side without disclosing talks about court cases, that should raise a red flag. So this cat created a petition to have the judge removed from the case, but this other cat, who is allegedly part of the cabal, had it removed. It's good to have friends in high places. Uh-oh, someone has just deleted their entire Twitter history. I'd say use the Wayback Machine, but that can be easily hacked these days. Nothing screams innocent party more than deleting your entire Twitter history. Welcome to Law Fake Toshi, the same Adam Beck that communicated with Judge Meller during trial through Tufty the Cat. Mr. Justice Meller said it directly to me at a CIPA event I attended on Monday. He came up to me to say hello, and I said Adam Back would like to know when the judgment is coming out. True. He said he was aiming for 9th May handing down, with the embargoed draft coming out this week. Neither the devs nor the lawyers had heard this, as I found out later. We're not strangers, by the way. I've met him before as he attended an event on patents I was involved in organizing last year, and we talked about Bitcoin over dinner, although not about Craig for obvious reasons. You would probably be surprised how approachable judges in England are. I've met a few of them and they are all really lovely guys. It looks like representing a COPA board member and witness at the social event to Justice Meller. Pierce admits asking on behalf of Adam Beck here.
Useful thing to have.
So
But
it
anyway.
sounds like he didn't bring up much else about the case.
Well, I did say, I said I did mention on Twitter that I was going to see him and jokingly suggested if anyone wanted me to ask him anything. I thought,
Yeah.
well, I know people want me to ask him. And Adam Back said, can you ask him when the judgment is coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just said to him, I thought I didn't expect an answer, but I just said, Adam Back would like to know when the judgment's coming out. He asked me, and he looked surprised as if, Adam Back would ask me why. And he said, well, I'm aiming for the 9th of May, which turned out not to be true. But it came, what was it, 10 days after that?
Yeah.
So it was,
Probably right.
by that point, it was pretty much, the judgment had been completed, bar a few dotting I's, crossing T's, I guess. And he looked pretty pleased about it. And then it was only a matter of a week or two after that it came out.
If you really want to rage against Clown World, read this, so you can write a very strongly worded letter to the court before December 18th. But this is Clown World, and everyone is Satoshi but Craig Wright, who is just a security guy that knows more about how Bitcoin works and owns more than anyone dead or alive. But hey, what did you expect here? This is the Cope Report, and that's what Bitcoin did this week.
Awesome. Loving it right. There we go. That's a 40-minute plus show. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. So as ever, if you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Semi.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, Rockwallet.me or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.